Hello, second grade readers. You are back here today for reading workshop here with Mrs. Hopkins. What we're going to do today is we're just going to keep building on what we've been doing this week. This week, we've really been learning about plot and the story elements that go into a plot, and you've been practicing trying on your own. Today, you and I will read through the book Rot, the Cutest in the World. We will plot it on the plot map from the beginning all the way to the ending and resolution. And what you're going to be able to do today on your own is identify the climax, falling action, and ending or the resolution in the book that you started yesterday and you did that beginning and rising action for. You're also going to be able to sort the vocabulary into the correct spots of these story elements for a plot of a story. But to get us started, we're going to read the book Rot, the Cutest in the World. And as we read, I want you to stop and really think about the beginning. Who are the characters and what's the setting that's introduced? The rising action, what's the problem that arises? What's the climax, the most exciting part of the story, or that turning point in the character's feelings? And then what's the falling action, how that problem starts to get solved, and that resolution, the ending to our story, and how everything's solved. So we're going to get started today with the book Rot, the Cutest in the World. Hello, this is Rot. He's a mutant potato. Like most mutant potatoes, Rot loves mud, eating stuff, nom nom nom, checkers, and all sorts of games and contests. King me, phooey, staring contest, ready, set, go. So when Rot sees a sign that says Cutest in the World contest, he can't wait to enter. Cutest in the World contest, enter now, this way. Rot is sure he'll win. He's so sure he sings a winning song. I'm the cutest in the world, the cutest in the world, the cutest, cutest, cutest in the world. Contestants, line up here. My ears, my poor ears. What is that awful sound? But then Rot sees the other contestants. There is an itty-bitty baby bunny with fluffy floppy ears, a little whittle bewitching bewhiskered cuddly kitten, and an eeny-weeny pink and peppy jolly jellyfish. The other contestants don't think much of Rot's chances. My poor adorable eyes, it's hideous. Ick, I think I'm gonna be sick. Whoa. They're not being very nice. It kind of seems like a problem. Ooh, Rot considers eating everyone. He would win for sure if he were the only contestant. Nom, nom, nom. Gulp. Eek! But it wouldn't be a very nice thing to do, and it would probably give him indigestion. Poof. Maybe Rot would be cuter if he had big ears like the bunny. Look, I look like you. No. Or maybe it would help if he had whiskers like the kitten. They're kind of itchy. You look ridiculous. Take those off. Perhaps if he were pink and peppy like the jellyfish? We're pink and we're happy. I skipped a page, sorry. None of it makes Rot feel any cuter. Okay, so his feelings still feel not very cute. So Rot decides to just be himself. He doesn't stand a chance. Is he actually going up there? That takes guts. Last up, Rot. Rot steps on stage and struts his stuff. He smiles his biggest smile. He shows his best side. What do the judges think? Drum roll, please. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Rot is the cutest in the world. I think I'm in love. He's perfect. Rot gets a big trophy. Seriously? No way. Huh? Ooh. It is so shiny that Rot can see himself in his reflection. And Rot thinks he looks like the cutest in the world. Ugh, this contest was totally rigged. Wait, are you wearing a unibrow? Do you like it? The end. All right, readers. So I thought this was just a fun, silly, cute little book that we could read today. And now we're really going to talk and dive into that plot. I want you to think right now about this story. What was the beginning like? Who was introduced? What's the setting? What's that problem that Rot has? And then what's the most exciting part of that story? What's that turning point? How does that problem start to get resolved? And just how does the story end? So let's go ahead and let's look at our beginning. I want you to take a couple seconds right now. Think of the characters and the setting in the book. Tap that brain while you think of those. I'm going to put my finger out for each one I can think of. Rot, the bunny, the cat, and the jellyfish. And that setting is they're at a contest. So I'm going to write that. I'm going to say Rot, the bunny, the cat, and the jellyfish are all in a contest, a cutest in the world contest. And then we get to thinking about that problem. What's the problem that Rot, because he's my main character, what's the problem that Rot faces in this story? I could go back to my book and look. I can go right straight to that point where there's a problem. He's singing his song, and then he notices the other contestants. And he's noticing the other contestants don't think much of him. And he's like, ooh, could I eat him? But I'm not going to. So his problem is those contestants, he might not be the cutest. So I'm going to say that he doesn't think he's the cutest anymore. And he thinks that because the contestants kind of aren't very nice to him. The contestants don't think he stands a chance. That means they don't even think he is worth competing against. They think he's got no chance. The contestants don't think he has a chance. That would make his self-confidence go way down. So he's probably feeling really little or small about himself. The contestants don't think he has a chance. Now we're going to talk about the climax. Now, when I was reading this book, I kind of struggled with this. I was like, could the climax be that turning point where he just decides to be himself, or when he starts to feel sad about not being the cutest? Or is it when he just goes out on that stage? Because to me, that was the most exciting. So I'm going to let you kind of decide right now in your head what you think the climax is. And if it's one of those things, that's okay. I'm going to say that I think the most exciting part and kind of a turning point was when Rot decides to be himself and goes out on that stage. And I also think like he showed his best side. Shows his best side because that was exciting, that was funny. So I think that's where our turning point really is, because Rot went from really sad and then it went to a funny part in the book. Like he was really owning up to who he was. And then I think about that falling action. How did that problem of Rot not feeling good enough for this contest, how did that end? He gets out there, he smiles his biggest smile, he struts his stuff, he shows that best side. How does this story, that problem, start to get solved? Yeah, it starts to get solved when the judges think that he is the cutest. When the judges start to say those nice things about him. They say those things like, Rot is the cutest in the world. I think I'm in love. These are just people I think. And he's perfect. So that's our falling action. The crowd loves him. And that resolution as Rock gets that big trophy, and he even knows he's the cutest in the world. So that's my ending. How that story ends is Rot wins the competition and is the cutest in the world. So when I think about this story, I go back to that beginning. Rot, the bunny, the cat, and the jellyfish are all in a cutest in the world contest. He doesn't think he's the cutest anymore. That's my problem. And the contestants don't think he has a chance. There's that problem to our story. My climax, that most exciting part, is when he gets out on that stage and he struts his stuff. He decides to be himself and he goes out on the stage. My falling action, when that problem starts to get solved, is when the audience and judges, I think that was the audience, when the audience start to say those nice things about him. And my resolution and my ending is when Rot really wins that competition. So we just went ahead and we plotted that whole story, Rot the Cutest in the World, together. And today, what you're going to do now is you're going to go back to the book you read yesterday and wrote down the beginning and the rising action for, and you're going to finish it. You're going to say, what's the climax, what's the falling action, and what's the resolution. And before you do this, you might want to try this activity that's assigned to each of you, which is the plot vocabulary. You've got the definitions of each of these sections to the side, and you're just going to go ahead and you're going to drag it to where it belongs. And then when you're done, you're going to turn this in. So we've got the most exciting part or the turning point in the story. You're going to put that where it goes. The problem or conflict is introduced. The problem or conflict is solved. There's a solution. The problem starts to get solved, and you learn the characters and the setting of the story. This is what you're going to do. You're going to take these, drag these, turn this in when you finish, and then finish your plot map so you really know and understand what each of these story elements are. When you're done with that, you're going to put it in your folder and you're going to bring that back to school with you on Monday. Off you go, readers.